not believe in violence. So we are using and shall continue to use all legitimate and legal ways of defending our voice.
I was speaking to one international diplomat who's actually met you, who says Bobi Wine, he's a performer, he's very charismatic, but what does he know about running a country? What are going to be your policies if you get rid of President Museveni?
We are looking at breaking a dictatorship and having Uganda under civilian rule, which has never happened before. We want the voice of the people to surpass the voice of the guns. We want to return the rule of law and dignity to the Ugandans and utmost respect for human rights. We want to revive our education system. I mean, it is sad that the wife of the president, whose education is actually questionable, is the Minister of Education, and it is so sad, the recent happenings in Makerere University and what she said, but that explains the regime and the family and the couple that's ruling over us. We want to revive our healthcare system. It is sick itself. It explains why our government officials, our leaders actually never go to our hospitals. Even when they have to give birth, they fly to developed countries for treatment, while the Ugandans are left to suffer and die. That explains why we lose more than 19 women every day, not every week, not every month, but every day giving birth. More than 300 children die in Uganda, and all these other challenges that people go through. If we had a functioning healthcare system, it would be working. Uganda is enormously gifted with amazing fertile soils. However, the land has been conspicuously owned by one family or one clan or one grouping. We want to put an end to that. We want the natural resources of the country to be actually a property and a benefit of the people of Uganda. We are greatly endowed with natural resources, from minerals to oil. We want them to facilitate the people of Uganda and help develop us. And finally, we want to unite our country, because we live in a deeply divided country, divided along ethnicity, along class, along income, along political lining. We want to put an end to that, and that will need us to have a truth and reconciliation program that can bring our people together, so we can have a foundation that will take us together forward as a country. And most importantly, I know that many of our very resourceful, knowledgeable, educated and intelligent people have been forced to leave Uganda because the nation does not offer what they deserve. These are first world brains stuck in a third world country. We want to repatriate them back home to help build our country. I must note that after the unfortunate events in Rwanda of 1994, it is mainly Ugandans that went to Rwanda and assisted build the Republic of Rwanda. We want Ugandans living in America, living in Europe, living elsewhere, to feel comfortable and blessed to come back and rebuild their country.
Currently, so much of the system was built by and is loyal to Museveni, particularly the security apparatus. What do you do about that, about if you were in charge, about the police, the army, the courts? Where do you draw the line of who you remove from their jobs?
I've been communicating to the men and women in uniform, telling them that this is a fight for them too. We're not fighting against them, we're fighting for them. They deserve dignity. These are men and women who spend sleepless nights trying to keep us safe. But again, looking at how they live, how their children survive, how they are enumerated, it is sad. So we want to better their lives so that our security is better. We want the police not to be playing politics, but to be doing their mandatory work, which is protecting people and their property. We want our soldiers to be dignified, to earn well and to live well.
And would you continue keeping those soldiers playing a regional role? For example, Somalia. Uganda's had soldiers there for 12 years. Yes, you get paid a lot of money by the US government for having your soldiers as part of AMISOM, but should Uganda be fighting the US's wars?
Uganda, in my opinion, is not fighting the US's wars. I believe that Africa is our home. I believe that we should be our brother's keepers. So whenever there's a problem, Uganda, like all other nations, should be part of it, you know. But again, just like we are trying to have stability and harmony in other countries, it should not be at the cost of Ugandans. So Ugandans should benefit from the stability as well. That should not come at the cost of Ugandans.
My final question. How worried are you about the stakes in what you're doing here? Because in 2 years' time, yes, you could be the president of Uganda, but you could also be in jail. You could be in exile, or it could be worse.
Yeah, I know that every day that I live